Any question among the four numbers we had yesterday that we need us to go through? Monica, is there any challenge you need us to look at? Okay, number 2, Monica says number 2. What was number 2 saying? Monica? What was number 2 saying? Monica. Monica, can you tell us what number 2 was saying? You were requesting that we go through number 2. I'm waiting. What did number 2 say? Okay, I've got it. Number 2 was saying that we solve root of x minus 1 plus 2 root of x minus 4 is equal to 4. Are we together? Annette, are we together?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let's go through this number 2, which Monica says was a challenge. And it says root of x minus 1 plus 2 root of x minus 4 is equal to 4. As we said yesterday, that when you have an equation involving 2 square root signs, what you can do is to take one root sign to the right-hand side. And I'm choosing to take the first one so that I have 4 minus root of x minus 1. Then you square both sides. Squaring both sides means I have 2 root of x minus 4 in brackets squared. Should give us 4 minus root of x minus 1 also in brackets squared. Now you have to square each term here. 2 to the power 2 is 4. Then root of x minus 4 squared is simply x minus 4. Should give us, when you square the other side, okay, we square this, we shall have 4 minus root of x minus 1 into 4 minus root of x minus 1. So we have 4x expanding minus 16 is equal to 4 times 4 is 16 minus 4 times this is 4 root of x minus 1 minus also 4 root of x minus 1. Then negative root x times negative root x is simply positive x minus 1. So we have 4x minus 16 is equal to, now 16 minus 1 is 15, minus 4 root x minus 1 minus 4 root x minus 1 is simply 8 root of x minus 1 plus the x. Now, bring this to the side, we shall have 4x minus the other x minus 16 minus this 15 should give us negative 8 root of x minus 1. So I eventually have 3x minus 31, I think. Yes. Should give us negative 8 root of x minus 1. Now we can square both sides again. We have 3x minus 31 squared should give us negative 8 root of x minus 1 also squared. We square this, we have 3x minus 31 multiplying itself should give us 64 into x minus 1. So that I have 9x squared minus, I think, 93x minus another 93x plus. And what is 31 times 31? Annette, what is 31 times 31?
961.
And 61, correct, is equal to 64x minus 64. So that we have 9x squared minus, could this be 186? Is it 186x?
Yes.
So 186x plus 961 is equal to 64x minus 64. Now collecting the like terms, we have 9x squared minus 186x minus the 64x on the right hand side plus the 961 plus the 64 is equivalent to 0. Now we have 9x squared. What is, Caroline, what is negative 186 minus 64? Caroline, what do you get there?
Negative 250.
Negative 250x, correct. Plus 961 plus 64. 1025, correct, is equal to 0. Now, we can now use the formula method. It is a quadratic. Remember, we said we are handling equations that reduce to quadratic equation. You can see that this is eventually a quadratic equation. So we move. I have x is equal to negative 250 plus or minus square root of negative 250 squared minus 4 times a is 9 times c is 1025. All these out of 2 times 9. These big figures shouldn't scare anybody. So x should give us 250 plus or minus square root of, what is the square of 250, Brenda? Brenda, what is the square of 250? The square of 250 is 62500 minus 4 times 9 times 1025 is 36900 over 18. So my x becomes 250 plus or minus root of, somebody tell us what's the difference between 62500 and 36900.
25,600.
25,600, correct. And what is the root of 25,600?
160.
100.
Okay, that is good. Did you say 160?
Yes.
Over 18. So we have 250 plus or minus 160 over 18. So the values of x are either 250 plus 160 over 18 or 250 minus 160 over 18. What is 250 plus 160? Is it 410?
Yes.
Over 18. And the other one is 250 minus 160. Is it 90?
Yes.
Over 18. So x is 410 over 18. What does it give us?
205 over 9.
Which is the same as?
22 whole number 7 over 9.
22 whole number 7 over 9. And the other one is?
5.
5. Correct. But we said we need to check when you are encountered with such equations, one of the values may not satisfy. So we need to confirm both values and say if x is 410 over 18, what do I have? Remember we had root of x minus 1 plus 2 root of x minus 4 is equal to 4. So if x is this, we have root of 410 minus, over 18 minus 1 plus 2 root of 410 over 18 minus 4. We want to see whether it gives us 4. So this becomes root of 410 minus 18 over 18 plus 2 root of 410. What is 18 times 4?
82.
72. And the difference is 410 minus 18 first.
392.
392 over 18 plus 2 root of, what is 410 minus 72?
238.
Over 18. So can we check square root of this if it is exact? What is the square root of 392?
14. 14 over 3.
That is over 18, eh?
Yes.
The whole thing is 14 over 3.
Yes.
Before the square root?
No, with the square root.
Okay.
The square root of that number, which is
Is
14 over
14 over 3. And then this one? And then this? 338 over 18 under the square root?
26 over 3.
So when
No, the whole thing.
including the 2, eh?
Yes.
So it means I have 40 over 3, which is not the same as 4. So not a root, okay? Now what if x, so we have seen this is not equal to 4, and therefore you say it's not a root. Now we check if x is 5. If x is 5, I'll have root of 4 plus 2 root of 1. Now this is same as 2 plus 2, which is actually 4. Therefore, it means that x equals 5 is the only root we are dealing with. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Good. Now, let's draw attention to what has brought us today. Remember, we are still dealing with further equations and factors, and we are interested in those equations that reduce to quadratics. And one such example is what you are seeing on your screen, which I want us to delve into. So let's begin by using this number. use the substitution. Use the substitution y is equal to x plus 1 over x to solve to solve 2x to the power 4 minus 9x cubed plus 14x squared minus 9x plus 2 is equal to 0. Are we able to see what I've written there? Are we seeing that number?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Now, when you are confronted with such a number, this is what happens. You have the equation 2x to the power 4 minus 9x cubed plus 14x squared minus 9x plus 2 is equal to 0. First of all, what's the degree of this equation? Sandra? What is the degree of this equation?
Degree 4.
Yes.
It's degree 4. So how many values of x do we expect?
Expect 4 values.
4 values, very good. Now, since we are familiar with the handling quadratic equations, we are supposed to reduce this equation to a quadratic. How? By dividing all through by x squared. So if I'm to divide this by x squared, I'll have 2x to the power 4 divided by x squared minus 9x cubed divided by x squared plus 14x squared divided by x squared minus 9x divided by x squared plus 2 over x squared, even the 0 should be divided by x squared. Remember, I'm dividing by x squared because this is of degree 4. If I do divide by x to the power 2, I reduce the degree from 4 to 2 so that I generate a quadratic equation. And therefore, I have 2x squared minus 9x plus 14 minus 9 over x plus 2 over x squared. 0 over x squared is actually 0. Now, you can see that we have 2x squared, we have 2 over x squared. We have negative 9x, we have negative 9 over x. They are similar. Not that they are exact. So we collect them. 2x squared plus 2 over x squared minus 9x minus 9 over x, then plus the 14 is equal to 0. We can see that 2 is common here. So I pull out the 2. I now have x squared plus 1 over x squared minus 9 into x plus 1 over x plus 14 is equal to 0. Remember, they told us to use the substitution y is equal to x plus 1 over x, which I have here. But what about this? What shall we substitute for this? X squared plus 1 over x squared. If y is x plus 1 over x, what about this? Who can tell us? Is Margaret there? Margaret? Sandra?
Yes, teacher.
If this is y, because we said y is equal to x plus 1 over x, what about x squared plus 1 over x squared? What do you think we should do? Because this is y. What about this one?
So I think we can, go further and break it.
And get? No idea?
And you get x plus 1 over x.
You get x plus 1 over x. Okay,
Yes.
let's look at this. If we have y is equal to x plus 1 over x, and this one involves squares, so it means that I should look for y squared. So y squared will be the same as x plus 1 over x squared, which is the same as x plus 1 over x multiplied by itself. Now, if this is done, I expand this bracket and I'll have x times x, which is x squared, plus x times 1 over x. What do we get? What is x times 1 over x?
1.
Very good. Then another one. Then 1 over x times itself is 1 over x squared. So we have y squared is equal to x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 2. Do we see now that we have y squared minus 2 is equal to x squared plus 1 over x squared? Have you seen that? So what will I put here now in this bracket here? What will it be? Anybody?
Y squared minus.
Very good. So we have 2. We are now substituting back here. Instead of x squared plus 1 over x squared, we now have y squared minus 2 minus 9. This is now y because we are told to use the substitution. Y is equal to x plus 1 over x. So minus 9y plus 14 is equal to 0. So we open this bracket. We have 2y squared minus 4 minus 9y plus 14 is equal to 0, giving us 2y squared minus 9y plus 10 is 0. Remember, we said we are dealing with equations that eventually reduce to quadratics, and this is a quadratic equation. So what are the factors of 20? Which when you add, you get negative 9. Pardon? Factors of 20 that we add to get negative 9.
Negative 5.
Very good, negative 5 and negative 4. So we have minus 4y minus 5y plus 10 is equal to 0. So we factor out 2y here. So we have 2y into y minus 2 minus 5 into y minus 2 is actually 0. Now we have y minus 2 into 2y minus 5 equaling to 0. So y is 2 or y is 5 over 2. Now, these are the values of y, but the equation in question is in terms of x. And remember, our y was the same as x plus 1 over x. So it means we now go step by step. If y is equal to 2 and y is x plus 1 over x, so what will be the value or values of x? So we substitute and say 2 is equal to x plus 1 over x. We multiply through by x so that we have 2x is equal to x squared plus 1. We are multiplying each term by x. Multiply 2 by x is x by itself and 1 over x times x, which gives us 1. So we have x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation. Now, we have factors of 1 that give us negative 2. What are they?
Negative 1 and negative 1.
So negative 1 and negative 1. So we have x squared minus x plus 1 is what? Is 0. So I'll have x into x minus 1 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. So that we have x minus 1 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 repeated. You don't have to say x equals 1. Again, x equals 1. Now, that is for x, for y is equal to 2. Now, what if y is equal to 5 over 2? That was our second value. It means 5 over 2 which is y, is the same thing as x plus 1 over x. Now let's multiply all through by 2x because there's 2 and x in the denominator. So if I multiply by 2x, I have 2x times 5 over 2 is equal to 2x times x plus 1 over x times 2x, giving me 5x is equal to 2x squared plus actually 2. So we have 2x squared. We have 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. What are the factors? What are the factors there? Annette?
-1, -1,
Negative?
-4, -1.
Okay, thank you. So we have negative 4x minus x plus 2 is equal to 0. So 2x pulled out will remain with x minus 2 minus 1 into x minus 2 is actually 0. So we have 2x minus 1 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. So the values of x are x is equal to a half or x equals 2. So we have 4 values of x actually, except that the first one was repeated. So x is equal to 1, a half, and 2. Any question? Any question there?
So about that thing of dividing by x squared.
Deriving x squared plus 1 over x squared, right?
No, up. The first part of it. So like from the beginning, where you say that you divide by x squared.
Oh, yes. This one?
Yes.
Yes. I said
What
that,
number?
pardon?
What if the number like it has degree 5 or 6? Is it a must still to divide by x squared?
Not really. You see, they will have to bring an equation which will reduce to a quadratic. So if they are to bring, maybe they will bring those with even powers. They can bring to power 6, which you can divide by x cubed. You get it? They can bring to power 8, which you can divide by x to power 4. And this one, they have brought x to power 4. So we are to divide by x squared because the aim here is to reduce it to a quadratic. Is it clear?
Yes.
Very good. Any other question? Okay. Let's try a second one, and then I give you a number to try. We are going to use the same substitution. Remember, y is equal to x plus 1 over x. This is standard substitution. To solve 6x to power 4 minus 35x squared, x cubed, plus 62x squared minus 35x plus 6 is equal to 0. So what is the first thing we are going to do? What shall be our first step? Dividing by x squared. So when I divide by x squared, I have 6x to power 4 divided by x squared minus 35x cubed divided by x squared plus 62x squared divided by x squared minus 35x divided by x squared plus 6 over x squared even the 0 by x squared. So that I have 6x squared minus 35x plus 62 minus 35 over x plus 6 over x squared is equal to 0. Somebody remind us, why should we divide by x squared? Annette, why divide by x squared?
Just into a quadratic form.
Very good. So at this point, we collect terms that are related. We can see 6x squared plus 6 over x squared related. Then we have minus 35x minus 35 over x plus 62 is actually 0. Now, we have 6 common here. We remain with x squared plus 1 over x squared. Minus 35 common, we remain with x plus 1 over x plus 62 is equal to 0. Now, we had said y is x plus 1 over x. And since these ones are squared, we need to get y squared. I need to redo this again so that you get to understand it very well. So y squared means the square of 1 over x plus x in brackets. So that I have y squared is equal to x plus 1 over x multiplying x plus 1 over x. And we were able to say y squared is x squared plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 over x squared, which gave us y squared to be x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 2. But we are looking for this. So it means I bring the 2 to the left, and y squared minus 2 is x squared plus 1 over x squared. So we can now substitute. Where we find x squared plus 1 over x squared, it is y squared minus 2. And where we find x plus 1 over x, we say it is y. So we're going to say 6 into y squared minus 2 minus 35y plus 62 is equal to 0. Opening the brackets, we shall have 6y squared minus 12 minus 35y plus 62 is 0. So we have 6y squared minus 35y plus what? Is it 50? Is equal to 0. Does it give us 50? Negative 12 plus 62? Does it give us 50? So what are the factors if they
Yes,
have? What are the factors if they are there? Numbers which when you multiply, you get 300. And when you add them, you get negative 35. Hmm? Do you have those factors? Or we use formula?
This is the formula.
Okay. If you use the formula, y becomes negative 35. And somebody got the factors?
Yes.
What were the factors? Hmm?
Negative 20 and negative 15.
Negative 20 and negative 15? I think
Yes.
let's do that. Sandra, you will excuse us if those are correct. 6y squared minus 20y minus 15y plus 50 is equal to 0. I think we are going to use 2y here. If I pulled 2y, I remain with 3y minus 10. We have 3y minus 10. I think minus 5 into 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. So we have 2y minus 5 into 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. And the y is 5 over 2, or the same y is 10 over